Today's video, I want to talk about how I got started in self-taught programming. Before I even started, I watched tons of YouTube videos, like a whole week's worth of just watching videos covering the same exact stuff, basically, just trying to figure out where to start and how to learn as quickly as I possibly can. Looking back at that now, I realize that it's not about learning unrealistically fast. It's more about just staying consistent every single day and finding something or a language that you truly like to learn. But nonetheless, YouTube really helped me decide whether I wanted to go down the path of self taught developer and where to begin to actually learn these skills. Now, deciding what to learn was pretty tough because it seems like there's a million options out there. Since I'm a beginner myself, I can't tell you what you should learn, but I can tell you kind of how I approached it. I broke it down to the two main paths, which is front end and back end. And then I did some research to figure out what is the most common ones for each one, which is generally JavaScript for front end and Python for back end. But of course, I want to learn both and I want to become a full stack developer. But I decided to start with front end. And then I decided HTML and CSS, which would eventually bring me into JavaScript. I felt more interested in that right off the bat, and the visual learning was a big motivator for me as well. I understand there is a much better way of making this decision, and ultimately it's about what you want to do down the line with programming and then finding the best path to allow you to do this and make the projects you want to do. But my mindset was that I kind of felt overwhelmed with all the choices and kind of like picking exactly what I wanted to do. So I just kind of thought I just needed to start, and then eventually I will learn as I go and find the things that interest me most. And then I will build off those things that interest me and kind of create my own path as I go. Now, my main method of learning at the moment is Free Code Camp. I've been using Free Code Camp for about 2 weeks or almost 3 weeks. It's been great for starting out. It's super beginner friendly and there's no complicated setup. You just log in, it's right there on your browser, and you can just start coding, which is something that I was very appealing to me. What I really like is how it breaks it down into tiny, manageable steps. You're not expected to go from zero to building a website right away. First, you learn basic HTML and CSS, and then eventually you get into more intermediate and then, tougher, much harder, difficult things later on. They also include mini projects, which I think is huge. You're not just learning in theory, you're actually building projects, which is a much better way to learn, in my opinion. It makes the information stick a lot easier. One small thing I've noticed is that it feels like the instructions are a little too step by step sometimes. You're just following directions rather than problem solving on your own. So if you're using Free Code Camp, you might want to build some of your own side projects too, just to make sure you're learning how to problem solve properly. This prompted me to build my own side projects early on to start testing myself to see if I'm actually retaining the information that I'm learning. It was very difficult and it was eye-opening, but I think it's exactly what I needed. This has already made me better at coding, and I went back and redid some things. And now I'll put on the screen, but I'm building my own project for my daughter for her birthday invites. And I'll put that on the screen, and I'm really enjoying doing that right now. But overall, I think Free Code Camp is awesome. I think it's great for just starting out. It's free, it's well structured, it gives you the real coding experience. And it may not be the only thing you use, but I think it's a great place to start. So if you're a beginner like me, I would definitely think about giving Free Code Camp a try. Remember, if you're going the self taught route, don't get discouraged if you feel like you're not getting the hang of it. Just be consistent every single day, and the skills will slowly start to creep in. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and leave a like, drop a comment about your coding journey, and subscribe if you want more beginner friendly coding content.